Welcome to the roller coaster ride of business with Hannah Edwards on Global Voice Radio. Hannah and her guests share the real deal, the ups and downs, the highs and lows of building a business. Here is your host, Hannah Edwards. Hello, everyone. This is Denise Joy Thompson, and I am the founder of Global Voice Radio. I am so excited to be here today talking with Hannah Edwards, who is one of our new hosts joining Global Voice Radio. And Hannah, thank you very much for joining Global Voice Radio, being a part of our family who is sharing your message, sharing your voice to create an impact around the world. Yeah. So I'm so glad that you're here with me today.
That's exciting.
So Hannah, another reason that I'm really excited to talk with you and have you as part of our family, because one of the missions with Global Voice Radio is that we have hosts from around the world. And so you are one of our global hosts outside of the United States, and you are from the UK.
I am. It's great. It's very cold at the moment, but it's great.
Okay, so it's very cold for you right now. Yeah, and I know earlier this year already you all have had snow.
We have. We had, well, it practically shut the UK down. It wasn't as much as you get in America. But over here, like, it was mad trying to walk anywhere, and it was terrible, especially when it started melting and then it started blocking the drains up.
Yeah. So, and we can never really plan for snow. I mean, it can just take over the city, shut down transportation, and then sometimes we just have to have a snow day in our house.
Yeah. That was a great fun bit. It was just the trying to get out to the shops.
Right. Yeah. So, Hannah, your show is going to air in a short time. But before we talk about your show and what information you're going to provide on your show to your listeners, let's talk a little bit about you. So that our Global Voice Radio family, our listeners, can get to know you and can have a connection with you before you actually start your show. So you live in the UK. Tell me a little bit about where you live.
I live in Swindon. It's right in the middle of the London, Bristol train line. It's what we call it a commuter town, because people will come and they will stay in Swindon and then they'll commute to everywhere else that they work at, because obviously houses and everything is expensive in London compared to here. So a lot of our houses are owned by people that actually work elsewhere.
Okay. So I think, in some ways, I live outside of San Antonio, where a lot of people drive in. We don't have trains that we can take in to go to downtown. So it's sort of like being in a suburb of a larger city, and Swindon is a suburb to London.
Kind of. We're considered a separate town, but we're not that far away. We're like a 45-minute train journey, if that. So it's not too bad.
Okay. I haven't been to London for probably 20, maybe 25 years. So I can only imagine how much it has grown. And I know that there are so many exciting things to do in the London area, and especially the theater.
Yeah, I mean, me and my partner, we went there a couple of weeks ago now, and it felt like we'd been all over London, because we did Piccadilly Circus, we did Leicester Square, we did King's Cross Station, so I could go to the Harry Potter shop on the 9 3/4 platform. Like, we made it to Trafalgar Square and everywhere, and then you look on a map that they've given you, because we went there to go to the British Museum, which was right about a 20-minute walk from Covent Garden. You look on the map that they've given you, and the map is like this big, and the little bit that we've done is like that, and just like we've not been anywhere near the whole of London.
Well, and I know that there's a lot of Americans and people from other countries who would love to visit London. So I think now that you're part of the Global Voice Radio family, you might have many people saying, hey, Hannah, we're going to be in your country. You know, what are you doing? So, and yeah, you never know. I might just hop a plane and come on over and visit.
Sounds good.
So Hannah, talk a little bit about your education. Talk about what you learned. Now, you all don't call it high school. You know, we have high school, then we go to college, we go to trade school. Talk a little bit about what you learned and focused on in your school as a young adult, and then going to college, and talk about that.
Okay, so our high school is secondary school. It's 11, 12-ish to 16, 17, and then we go on to college. And then we go on to university after that one. So at school, I did law, IT computing, English, basic GCSEs exams of like maths and science and English and stuff. Then I went on to college where I did business studies. I did law, I did sociology, psychology, government and politics. And I think it's doing the business that was just like, actually, I don't want to work for other people. I want my own. That's where I started getting the taste of it. Then I actually took some time out and I worked for a bit. I worked in Asda, which over there is Walmart. And I got a retail management NVQ from there. So I gained a qualification at work on how to do management skills. Mm-hmm. And then I decided I would go and do my university degree in business. Instead of going and doing it at an actual university, because obviously I had bills and stuff to pay, we have Open University over here, where you get the books sent to you, you study at home, you attend day school on the weekends at your local college and stuff. They book it out so that you can go there. Then you take exams. So I've got my business degree, which just it definitely cemented then that I was definitely having my own business.
Mm-hmm. So talk a little bit about, you mentioned that you started working in a job.
Yeah.
And that you knew you didn't want to have a job for the rest of your life. So talk a little bit about that realization.
I think it came when I actually got the NVQ, because it showed you all the different management styles. And then I moved on from just being a checkout assistant to a section leader, where I was actually helping run the checkouts and stuff and doing all the rotas and dealing with any queries that staff had, making sure that money was in all the tills and stuff like that. And I think it was that sense of knowing that I was being trusted to run different bits and pieces that was just like, actually, if I can do it in a supermarket where they've got stores all around everywhere, to the point that I actually got asked to go to another town and help there for a few months building a new store there. So I actually helped in the opening and the running of the checkouts, setting everyone up, training the staff. And it was just like, well, if I can do it for a massive supermarket, I can do it for myself. Mm-hmm. And getting the phone calls saying, we've got a problem with the computer, well, we need like emails and stuff sent out. I was just like, this is definitely something I need to be doing for myself. If I'm doing it for them and I'm enjoying it, but I'm not enjoying it as much as I could be for myself, because I wasn't getting that connection with people. It was like, wow, these are our customers, quickly deal with that bit and then move on to the next one. Working for myself, I managed to make a connection with people, and that's what made it more fun.
Mm-hmm. You know, in some ways, you sort of describe the steps or the classic scenario that a lot of business owners take to move from having a job to building their own business. And there is nothing wrong with having a job. So our listeners, it is okay that not everyone is a business owner, because
I still have a job now, so.
Right. And we need people who work for other companies.
Yeah.
But for those individuals who see themselves building their own business and supporting other business owners and other companies, then we definitely want them to be able to move in that direction.
Absolutely. I mean, like I said, I still have a job now while I build my businesses up. I enjoy my job. I don't enjoy it as much as I would be working for myself, but I've always had that mind frame of I'm going to be working for myself. But I enjoy, I think it's like the break from trying to set up the business, because it is stressful. So I enjoy that time where I just get to go and I get to interact with other people, because business is lonely. And I get that interaction. I get that time to, like, it's releasing whatever's going on in your mind. You haven't got to think about what's going on in your business. You get that break to refresh and stuff, and then you can come back to it.
You know, and oftentimes as a person is building their business, they still need steady income.
Yeah.
So having a job allows someone to build their business on the side, and as they build their business income, they can take a step back from their job.
Absolutely. And it's great. It's that safety net. Not everyone has the ability to just go, okay, well, I'm quitting work. I've got X amount of savings in the bank. I'm quitting work and this is what I'm going to do. And so many TV shows nowadays portray it as, hey, boss, I quit. And then they've gone. And it's not like that. It's hard. Like, it's having the full-time job. It's staying up late to get that deadline hit for someone. I mean, I'm lucky because some of my clients are in America, so I'm ahead of them, and I can turn around and say, okay, well, I'll get that to you well before you want your deadline, because I'm several hours ahead. But for the ones that are in Australia who are ahead of me, it's the staying up late to make sure I hit their deadline before I go to sleep, before I get up and go to work, because my shifts are like 15 hours. My minimum shift is 2 hours leading into an 11-hour shift, because I have to sleep where I work. Then I come home, I do my work, I go to sleep, I do some work in the morning, and then I get up and I do it all again at the job. And I think people watch too much TV and find that they're just going to quit, and then they wonder why their income's gone.
Right. And I also think that people, you know, when they watch too much TV, or sometimes when we read some of the self-development books or the business books, we may think that the reality of building a business is more fun, more exciting than what it is at times.
Yeah, there are so many books. It's like you see people that have written all these books and their Instagrams are full of this lavish lifestyle as they travel around and stuff, and their books like, yeah, I did this, I got X amount of clients in 24 hours. And it's not like that. You don't wake up one morning and go, oh my God, I've got 57 clients, I'm quitting my job, I'm traveling the world, and then I'm going to tell other people how to do it. And it doesn't work like that. It is hard. Right. It's never that easy to just wake up and find that amount of clients in your inbox waiting for you, unless they've got some massively hidden secret that none of the rest of us know about.
Right. Well, and, you know, as you mentioned that, it sort of leads us into talking about the title of your show, because I mean, you've laid it out already, and you and I have talked about it, you know, offline.
Yeah.
You and I are sort of the same mindset of what it takes and what the reality of building a business is. So I'm really excited about your show, and it is called The Roller Coaster Ride of Business.
It is, yeah, because business is a roller coaster ride. It's scary. There are fantastic moments, and then there are moments that are just like, oh my God, what am I doing? And like, you get that in between where it levels out for a while and you're like, okay, this is going really well, and then you just get the crap moment of, how am I affording my shopping next week? Because clients have just gone, we can't afford to pay you, we can't keep you on, like, or you're starting out, so you're not getting any clients, but you've reduced your hours at work, and it's just like, no one knows what's coming next. Even those that say they've got it all sorted, they're traveling the world, they don't know what's happening next. None of us do. They might wake up one morning to find all of those clients that were in their inbox have had financial problems. So now they're not going to have their financial status. So they're advertising to everyone.
Right. And, you know, both in the UK, in Australia, Canada, the US, the world, we have had economic recessions.
Absolutely.
And when that happens to all of us, the ripple effect is everybody pulls back in regards to what they are paying for. And it doesn't really do us any good to take somebody to court, because then we would all be going to court, right? And so the judge is going to say, well, I know everybody is in a difficult position. So even if somebody's made to pay, what do they do? You know, sell their house, sell their car, who do they have to pay first? So when we go through those recessions and the roller coaster together, we sort of have an idea of when we're all hitting rock bottom, we're all at rock bottom. Yeah. But we also know the mindset, the drive of a business owner. We're going to get back on, get in one of those cars of the roller coaster and go for another ride. Yeah.
I mean, in my mind, if you're supposed to be a business owner, then you've got that determination that you're not going to let one problem stop you. I mean, I've had clients and then I've lost them because they've needed to do something and they can't afford to take me on. Yeah, it bummed me out for a bit, because it was just like, okay, I'm in my first year of business. I've gained these clients. I've now lost them. What am I doing wrong? I mean, a couple of weeks ago, I had a, do you know what, I'm just going to give it all up moment. But then it was just like, actually, no, I'm not, because I'm determined to do this. And that's when the high starts again. And when I changed that mindset, I started talking to people that were like, well, actually, I need you to do this for me. And as soon as I changed that mindset, I started getting people wanting to work with me again.
Right. And, you know, Hannah, you were so honest and authentic right now when you said, I had the thought of stopping and not doing my business.
Yeah.
And we need to be able to be real.
Absolutely.
And acknowledge those emotions, that mindset, so we then can deal with it. Because if you had ignored it, you probably would have continued down that road, and it would have taken you longer to get back on that roller coaster.
Yeah.
And to go for another ride, because you knew this is what I want to do. Life happens, but I don't have to stay stuck.
Yeah. I mean, it was just one of those moments. Everyone has them where you just like, you wake up and you're like, I've got no clients. I mean, I have a regular client with my virtual assistant business. I go into our office once a month and I get work like online to do for her as well. And I just woke up and I was like, I could easily just leave it that she is my client. I don't advertise for anymore. I just have that one client and forget the rest, because it's not going anywhere. And then I went, funny enough, into my job, where I sat and I was talking to someone that I work with, and it was just like, well, hang on a second now. You're not giving up, because this is what you're meant to do. And then I was just like, okay, yeah, no, I'm not giving up. And I came home that night. It was literally like 11 hours later. I came home that night and I was like, no, do you know what? Stuff that. I'm putting this advert online and I'm going with it and seeing what happens. And then I had messages in my inbox the next day. And it's not like it was 57 clients that I could then leave my job, but it was something that boosted me up. It was one of those little bits that took me not necessarily straight to the top of the roller coaster, but I'm part of the way there.
You know, and it's those moments that support a person in not giving up on their dream, right?
Yeah.
You came home, you figured out how to market, right? In that moment, I mean, you knew how to market, but you took that moment and you marketed your service. Yeah. You put yourself out there to attract, right? So when we talk about our mindset, we talk about manifesting, we want to have congruency between our thoughts and our actions.
Exactly, yeah.
And that's what you did.
Yeah.
And the result was people saw what you were marketing, what you were offering, and then you got clients.
Exactly. And then, I mean, obviously we've got the business magazine as well, that it was just like, okay, well, I'm not giving up on that. And I sent out a tweet, and my next issue was full of content, because all of these people were like, actually, we'll go with it. I've got people that want to write their story but spread it out over regular months and stuff like that, because they've just got so much to tell. Everyone has been in this position, but no one's been asked properly what their story is. All those people that sit there and say, I woke up one morning with thousands in the bank because all these checks just came pinging in. Not one of them, when they talk to the people that they're selling these courses to, actually turn and go, so what actually is your story? They all sit there, they go, this is my technique, go off and use it. And that one technique is not going to be the same for every single industry. It does not work.
Well, and I also, having listened to several techniques, right, in the years that I've been in business, and what I have been learning from other people, even individuals like you, it's not just, oh, you can do this simple thing, like get on the phone and just call people. It's like, well, have your email system set up, have your autoresponder, have your opt-in, have your sales page. So in some ways, it's having these systems in place. It's not just a simple send one email to 100 people or call 100 people on your list, because we all could do that, right? We all have email, we all have a phone, but there's series of things that we need to do and technology that we need to have that oftentimes that's not what people are told.
No, it's like you get told, here's the exact emails I've used to earn me $24,000. And then you're there and you're like, okay, so you're giving me your emails. They're for a completely different industry to the one that I'm in, but you're telling me this series of emails is going to work. And it's not like it's just one email. They're telling you to bombard people. And I can't stand that. As soon as I sign up to something, and within 3 days, I've got 24 emails from this one person, that's it. I'm unsubscribed and I'm gone, because that just, it doesn't relate to me, and it doesn't relate to people in my industries.
So you have your Empowered Virtual Assistant. That's the name of your business.
Yeah.
And talk about the services and support that you provide to business owners, whether it's a brick and mortar business, whether it's a entrepreneur, whatever the business may be. Talk about the services that you provide. Okay,
so my services are, it doesn't matter whether you're an online person yourself or if you're in your offices, I can help. Like I said, I've got clients that have been in completely different countries to me, so they've definitely not been in an office that I can get to. But my services help them keep their systems in line and assist them with all of the, I want to say, annoying tasks. Like when you get to that point where you're just like, I've got all of these tasks that I have to do, but I've got this big task that I know will take me to the next level. So I take those annoying tasks from you because I'm strange and I like those annoying tasks. I'm not just afraid to admit that. I love replying to your emails and designing your newsletters and designing your webinar slides. All the things that people find frustrating are actually my area of expertise. So I take those and I streamline them so you don't have to worry about them. You know your newsletter's going out on whatever date you decide you need it to go out on. So if you want it on the 5th of every month, you know the content's in there and it's going out on the 5th of every month. The emails that you needed to be sent out, they're set up and scheduled, ready to go, as are the social media posts. And that leaves any business owner to then concentrate on those big tasks that take their business to the next level. I basically streamline their, I'm trying to think of the word to say for it. I streamline their systems to help them take their business to the next level and beyond. If they're making those extra, like clients can like come in because I've sent off a newsletter. That's my job done.
Right. Well, in some ways it sounds like you support and assist a business owner to be more efficient and effective in their own business, because you're able to take their systems or even provide new offerings. Like you said, you do newsletters, you can help with webinars. So oftentimes a business owner knows what their skills are to generate revenue, which really that's what they need to focus on.
Absolutely.
Take away the tasks that if I do those tasks, I'm not generating revenue. I'm not doing my area of expertise because I'm doing this work.
Absolutely. I'm basically like their personal assistant. I'm just not in their office. So the tasks that they would give to their personal assistant that's either in their office or in a room next door, I do them for them so that they don't have to worry. They're then generating their income, and they're finding that actually their business is streamlined and running better because they've got that support.
Right. So a business owner would need to decide what are they going to outsource to you.
Absolutely.
To have you do it. And
yes.
I would imagine when you have a virtual assistant, an executive assistant that you're not paying full time as an employee, and then dealing with payroll or dealing with taxes, it's a lot more cost effective.
It is, yeah. It is, because you haven't got to provide a virtual assistant with holidays or health benefits, sick pay, insurance for them being in your office, because obviously you have to pay the safety insurance for people to be working in your office space with you. All of that gets away. That makes their profits go up because they don't have to pay so much. Because I'm at home, my sick pay is my problem, my health benefits are my problem, and my holiday is my problem. So it takes a bit of stress away from them, from having to think, I have to put that person on payroll and I've got to get this set up and this set up and this set up. But I also want them doing this task now. Whereas if they had an in-office assistant, that assistant can't start doing those tasks until those bits are in place.
Right. Yes.
Whereas I don't need to worry about any of that, so their tasks can get done quicker.
Right. Well, and the other thing that I've seen when I've been an employee and worked with other employees is, well, they're working certain hours. And so if they are sick or on holiday or something comes up or it's the weekend, you don't necessarily ask them to work outside of their hours.
No.
And whereas with a virtual assistant, that's part of what you and your team can do. If I called you and said, hey, oh no, I forgot about something, I need the newsletter out today, or I have this last minute project, can you help me on a webinar? Now you can say no, but also it's part of your business to say, hey, I can fit you into my schedule because you might want to work that weekend, or you might want extra hours, or you're able to accommodate my emergency. Not that you would probably do that every time, because you would tell me, well, Denise, now we need to schedule what you want done. But I think as a virtual assistant, those are things that you can do.
Absolutely. I mean, because of the job that I work, the hours that I work during the week there are long days that I can't do anything other than maybe send a couple of emails in an evening. I actually find that I work a lot of the weekends, and I actually work better at night. So someone because obviously I'm in a separate country to some people, if someone pops up into my Facebook Messenger and was like, I really need this done now, it might be 10 o'clock at night for me, but it's not going to be 10 o'clock at night for you guys. And I will probably end up doing that because I work better and faster at night. Mm-hmm. And so I'm one of those, actually, it probably doesn't matter too much when you message me. Obviously, if I've got an event going on or I'm working on something else, I'm going to end up saying no. But I reckon about 85% of the time, if someone popped up on my Facebook with an emergency that they needed done, I'd actually probably be able to do it for them, because I don't have massively set hours.
Mm-hmm.
My hours are there to fit around my clients.
Right. And that's part of being a business owner. You get to decide the clients that you accept, the hours that you work, and to negotiate with what's needed to figure
Absolutely.
out, can you do it, one of your team members, or do they need to go to another resource?
Absolutely. And I think half the time, because we do the more established virtual assistants, the ones that are award-winning, I want to say, like they've been in business for years, they're the ones that will sit there and say, I can't necessarily do that one, but I actually prefer to sit there and go, yeah, we'll discuss these hours. It's not going to be all the time, but I fit in with you guys because that's what you do as an assistant. You fit in with the client.
Right, right. As long as the client isn't, taking advantage of you, or
Absolutely
always has an emergency. At least not on purpose, right? A lot of us have emergencies. We need something done quickly, because sometimes that's the nature of having a business.
Yeah.
But I also know how helpful and how necessary virtual assistants are.
Absolutely.
They can actually help business owners to be more efficient, to be more organized, so that we are better at giving you or other virtual assistants the tasks to do.
Absolutely, because you get some people, like some business owners, they worry, they sit there and go, well, should I give that to my virtual assistant? And this virtual assistant is there, and that we're waiting for this work to come across, and we're sending emails going, okay, contract was signed last week, payment's been done, what's going on, where's this work? And they're just like, well, just stick this blog up on the website for me, because I don't want to overload you with work. And I'm just like, that's what I'm here for. Send me the stuff that you need doing and we'll get it done, but I can't do it and support you in like the ways that you want me to if you don't send me the stuff.
Right, right. So Hannah, let's talk about your magazine, Empowered Business Magazine. And I'm so excited for you that you have launched this magazine and that you are providing a platform for other business owners to talk about their business, talk about their story. So,
absolutely. When I first started out, I was looking for a magazine that wasn't full of like stories of people that are like at $75,000 contracts and the fancy layouts and stuff. I wanted something that was real, that was full of people that are like me, working the job, running the business, running a household, an everyday person that wants their own business. And a lot of the magazines you would find are full of people that are just like, okay, well, I saved, I remortgaged my house, I did this, that, and everything else, and then I quit work and this is my job. Or I got inheritance and this is how I've done it. Or I come from a family where they were all able to put money in. Not everyone can do that. So I wanted to create a magazine where people could email me and say, okay, this is my story. I have children, I'm a single mum, or my partner is working full time and I'm at home with the kids and I'm trying to fit in a business. Or like myself, I work, I have 2 businesses, I have my house to look after and run. And like, obviously you have friends that you want to go and see, but there aren't magazines that are full of that. So I remember posting a message in a group, and then Abigail, who designs my magazine, popped up and was just like, I actually want to design that magazine. That would be fantastic. So we did it. This month was actually a relaunch because we did start it before, and we were both, I don't really think we were in the headspace to be able to do it because we were both moving. We were both in the middle of setting up new businesses at the same time. And whilst we had a download rate that was steady, it wasn't enough out there to get us noticed. We weren't getting people noticed. And then it got to the point where no one wanted to feature because of that. So we were like, okay, we'll take a break. We'll rebrand, which isn't a bad thing. There isn't anything wrong with people that need to pause their business. Like, a lot of people, I think, find that there's a shame around it. Like, if they turn and say to their friends, oh, I'm doing this business, and then a couple of months down the line, they're saying, actually, that business isn't going right, so I've had to stop. They worry what people think, and that's the stories we want to feature. So we rebranded, we came back this month, and the download rate has been fantastic. People want to be in it. Like I said, after this first issue went out, I've had a magazine that's full of content already made, because people have been like, hey, we love that magazine, we want to be in it. And it's all everyday stories. It's people who are running their business, or they've found an area because they've been looking after their children and they found something that needed to be done. So they've set up the business to do that, and they've worked the job, looked after the kids, run the household, all whilst running those businesses. And it's those people that deserve to be featured.
Right. So providing your readers with stories of real people,
yeah,
their business today, and I'm sure that you would interview someone who's making millions of dollars and they said, Hannah, we would love to be featured in your magazine.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
But in some ways, you're providing the real stories from people like you, people like me, people like Abigail, other women and men who are building their businesses and who are creating change in our world because they're stepping up. And when we're, when we're authentic, when we share our stories, that's how other people really learn to move forward.
And obviously we wouldn't, if someone that had a massive business and didn't have to work, turn around and came to us and said, I want to be in your magazine, we obviously wouldn't turn around and say no, because if they've managed to build up that massive business, they've got some fantastic tips to share with people like you and myself and Abigail and everyone in all the groups that I'm in on Facebook that are just there like, oh my God, what the hell is going on today? If that person has managed to build up a massive business and wants to be in our magazine, if they've got those tips to share with everyone, we want them in there. They can have a cover spot. Right? We're not going to say no to that.
So, Hannah, I want to thank you again for joining Global Voice Radio. I want to encourage all of our listeners to look for the roller coaster ride of business, and also look for the next issue of the Empowered Business magazine. And if anyone needs a virtual assistant, then please contact Hannah Edwards. Her business is called Empowered Virtual Assistant. And of course, Hannah can be found on Global Voice Radio.
Absolutely.
So, Hannah, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening. Join Hannah Edwards and the roller coaster ride of business every Wednesday at 3 p.m. Eastern on Global Voice Radio, where your voice is heard.